Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Tonight we're gonna do lasagna. We're doing a veggie lasagna and a beef lasagna, sauteed green beans with peppers and mushroom. Okay, so we have two types of lasagna and sauteed peppers with green beans. I'm sorry, sauteed green beans with peppers and mushroom. So last week we did a sauce for our chicken pot pie, which was a bechamel. We're going to do that again today. As I mentioned, we use that also for our lasagnas. So I'm going to do two for you. So starting off with the sauce, we'll add 5 tablespoons of butter to our saucepan. And we're going to let that cook down. You want to have the fire on low. While we're waiting on our butter to cook down, we're also going to have 1/4 cup of flour, 5 tablespoons of the butter, which is in, 1½ cups of milk, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of shredded Parmesan.
I don't know why you're down here. I've never seen this before.
I'm sorry? Our butter is melted down. We're going to add flour, and stir. This will make us a roux, which is the base of the cheese sauce. I'll let that cook for a couple of minutes until it makes like a paste, continuously stirring. Then we're going to add our milk. Whisking that in. We're going to let that boil for a few minutes until it thickens up. And then we'll add our salt and our Parmesan cheese, which is our last 2 ingredients. Okay. For the sauce, we're going to cook off 2 pounds of ground beef. Add a little oil to my skillet, just a little bit.
Changes could make the biggest impact.
I'm adding the ground beef. You can also use, for your meat lasagna, turkey, chicken, Some people use Italian sausage. Turn that up a little bit. We're gonna cook this until it's done. Our sauce is getting there. It's thickening up. Cook a little bit with our mixture. Almost there. Okay, I'm gonna add our 2 cups of shredded Parmesan cheese. Stir that in. Actually need a little more milk. And that happens sometimes. You need to add a little more. A little too thick, just to thin it out some. Want it nice and creamy. Okay, our meat is cooking. I add shortly our seasonings to our meat. A little bit. For our seasonings for our meat is tablespoon of granulated garlic. Add that right in. Tablespoon of granulated onion. Black pepper. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Tablespoon of salt. I'm also going to add our salt to our cheese sauce. This is a teaspoon. Stirring that in. This one is ready. In a large pot, you want to have some water boiling for your noodles. 12 noodles are needed for our lasagna. Our meat is almost ready, so I do have a large pot boiling as we speak for the noodles. with a little pinch of salt in it, about a tablespoon of salt. Okay, our meat is just about there. And so is our sauce. We've got a few more minutes. Ground beef has a tendency to have a little oil when you cook it, so I'm going to strain the oil off. A little of the oil. Sauce is ready, so I'm going to turn that off. Turn our meat down on low. Now we're going to add 128 ounce can of diced tomatoes and 2 for our meat. Pour that in. I'm going to mix that and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Turn the fire up a little bit. So I'm going to get a tasting spoon and just taste it once it simmers to make sure that we have enough seasoning. I'm going to add our noodles to our boiling water. 12 lasagna noodles is what we're going to use. Okay. While we're letting that boil, the other ingredients for the beef lasagna, we've done our seasonings already, added that to our meat, added our sauce, and we have our noodles cooking. We're going to need some Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese for the top. Sauce is just about there. Cheese sauce is ready. Taste the meat sauce for seasoning. That's seasoned well. A little more. We can cover this. Push your noodles around. Make sure that they're covered in water. While we have a little time for our vegetable lasagna, we can start cutting up our vegetables for that. That is 3 cups of spinach uncooked, 1 yellow squash, 1 green squash, 8 ounces of mushroom, and 1 red pepper and 1 yellow pepper. So I have that already rinsed off and ready to go. You can use sliced mushrooms or whole mushrooms. I have whole mushrooms tonight, so I'm going to slice those. Red pepper, cut it in half. Yellow pepper, cut that in half. Dump the seeds out. And the same with the red. I also have an orange pepper. For color. Make sure you get all of that out of the inside. And our squash, gonna cut that in, tip off with both ends. Cut it in half. Half and half. And then I'm gonna cut it in quarters and slice. Noodles. Is there a question? No? Peppers, cut in half. And then I'm gonna slice it. Throw it in the mixture. If the pieces are too long, you can also cut them in half again. You don't want them hanging off your slice of lasagna once you cut the lasagna. So you can do this size. And I'm adding the orange color. We're going to take our vegetables and saute them. I'm going to do the spinach in a separate skillet. Adding a little more oil. Both. Spinach and cook it down. You can also use canned spinach if you don't want to use fresh. And the vegetables are up to you. These are just vegetables that I like to use. Sometimes I also add eggplant as a base. Okay. Then we're gonna add the vegetables. Saute those as well. Have them on a medium heat. Down. Down. Add a few mushrooms. Spinach is almost done. It doesn't take a long time for this to cook. That's ready. Turn that off. Other veggies, just about there. The same seasonings that we use for the meat, we're gonna add to the veggies. Pepper. Granulated onion. Granulated garlic. A little salt. And stir. Okay. A little more. Noodles are ready, so we're gonna take those off. And run them under cold water for a couple minutes. Finish our vegetables. If you have a vegetable seasoning like a Mrs. Dash, you can also use that to kind of perk up your veggies. So I have a little of that as well. I'm gonna add a little bit to the vegetables. This will be the filler for the lasagna, so you want it to taste good. While we're waiting on the vegetables, I'm gonna go on and start putting together the meat lasagna. And the last ingredient to that was our Italian seasoning, so I'm adding the Italian seasoning to the meat sauce. Turning that in. Nice and thick. Now you can use a 9 by 13 baking pan or an aluminum pan. An aluminum pan I'm gonna use today for the noodles. Gonna take a little of your plain tomato sauce and put it in the bottom of your pan. You're gonna drain our noodles. Layer them out in our pan. And pour spinach in. Layer the lasagna noodles in the pan on top of the sauce. And you're gonna add a little scoop. I'm gonna scoop this over. Meat sauce. Gonna cover this layer. Meat sauce. And we'll do a scoop of our cheese sauce. Layer. Once it cooks, it'll spread out. Then we'll do another layer of noodles. Another layer of meat. Our veggies are ready, so I'm gonna turn those off. Cheese sauce. And then our top layer Noodles again. And for your top layers, no meat, you're just gonna do plain tomato sauce. And we're gonna cover this with mozzarella cheese. I turned on our pot for our sauteed green beans. That's gonna be next once we put our lasagnas in the oven. Our oven is preheated 350 degrees. The lasagnas are gonna go in for 25 to 30 minutes. A little more cheese for the top. And it's just about ready to go in. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. All right, our veggies are ready. So these. Same concept. The veggies. A sauce in the bottom of the pan. Spread it out. Then we're gonna layer our noodles. Okay. Then we're adding our veggies. Just like with the meat. Layer of the veggies, then your cheese sauce, veggies, cheese sauce again. Add a little tomato sauce to this. Spread it out. And add our veggies. I'm sorry, our noodles again. veggies. This is the nice hearty meal for someone that doesn't eat meat. Vegetables are nice and filling. Sauce and our noodles for our top. And our sauce. And our cheese. This is also gonna take 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, we have our water boiling for our green beans. We need a 10-ounce bag of frozen whole green beans. We'll put that in our water. It has a little salt in it. Put that in there for a couple of minutes and let it boil. Take the frost off. While we're waiting on that, I'm gonna clear up some space here. And that is going to have half of a red pepper for that amount. Rinse that. Cut it in half, and then we're gonna chop it into a small dice. The red pepper is for color. Green beans are going. Okay. That. Added a few mushrooms that are already chopped up. gonna saute this. Along with the green beans. Add the peppers. Little oil. And our green beans. Gonna add to this mixture. And saute. I saute them until they're nice and tender. You don't want to overcook them. For a couple of minutes, about 3 to 4 minutes if that. I add a little salt and pepper to taste. Nice and colorful as well. The vegetable seasoning that we use for the lasagna, can add a little of that to your green beans as well, for the Mrs. Dash. There's a little space. About ready. And off. And we get our plate ready. Our finished product. Our finished product has our green beans with our sauteed mushrooms and peppers, our veggie lasagna, our meat lasagna, and our added garlic bread. Most people like garlic bread with their spaghettis or their lasagna. So this is our finished product. Any questions?
Looks good, Chef.
I had a question, Miss Lenore.
Yeah.
For this item can be ordered from your business.
Yes, can be ordered from
Okay.
Lenore's Kitchen.
So how many people could I feed with like that 9 by 13 pan?
You can get like 12 nice size pieces out of that 9 by 13.
Okay. All right. And I noticed that one of your vegetables was mushrooms.
Mushroom.
Yes, if you're allergic to mushrooms, what could you substitute safely? Or should
No,
you?
you don't have to use the mushrooms. Like I mentioned, you can use eggplant. Some people put sweet potatoes in their veggie lasagna. It's pretty much whatever you'd like. These are just the vegetables that we use, but you can use pretty much any type of vegetable that you like that will hold in a lasagna.
That will hold in the lasagna.
Yes, that'll
Okay.
hold up in a lasagna that won't, break down and become very mushy. So these are solid vegetables that we use.
Okay. And what about if we use fresh green beans? Would there be just a little bit difference in how we would prepare? If we use-
Just cook it a little longer, just a little longer. You want to make sure that they are, completely done. But fresh green
Okay.
definitely can be used as well.
All right. Looks good.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Yum, yum, yum.
Again, as I mentioned, these items can be ordered from Lenore's Kitchen Catering. We're at 773-925-6699. And if you have any questions, you can call me or email me as you're going through doing the menus. And I'll make sure, Michelle, these definitely will be emailed to you tonight, actually.
Great.
This is fantastic.
Wonderful.
Those that are concerned about calories, 200 calories in the meat lasagna per piece and 166 calories in the veggie.
Do you use turkey in your lasagna?
Yes, you can use turkey, you can use chicken, you can use Italian sausage, you can do a combination. We get requests sometimes to do the meat and veggie lasagna combined together. So I've done that as well. I've done the beef and the veggie lasagna, and as well as the turkey and the veggie lasagna.
Chloe would like to know, what about a seafood one?
And I haven't done a seafood lasagna, but you definitely we could do that. Probably
Right.
shrimp
Okay.
and crab.
Mm.
I'll
Is
get
there
back
an
to you
address
on
for
that.
me to come by and do a taste test for you?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Is there an address that you can give us that we can perhaps drive by and do the taste test for you?
That address is 11901 South Loomis, and that is in Chicago. Call me first so I can have it ready. It takes 25 to 30 minutes to make.
That's a good question.
That was a real good question.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wheel's spinning now, so I'm thinking about the seafood lasagna. Definitely thinking about that.
That
I've
sounds
heard
like a
of
good
them. I've
idea.
never tried it, but I've
I've
heard.
never made a seafood lasagna, but that is something that I'm going to try.
Please, TT, please.
We'll be your taste testers. We'll be your taste testers. We'll come test it for you.
That's a good plan, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Chef, we thank you so much for these last 2 weeks have been amazing.
Thank
You have
you.
been a blessing. For those of you all that don't know, our chef was also a guest panelist at Entrepreneurs a workshop for one of our colleges in Chicago. So she's just an amazing woman. And we are
Amen.
so grateful. And I look forward to having you back in the winter for our winter session, where our sole focus will be on in January on healthy eating. And so we're looking forward to having you back, Chef.
Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
We love you.
Thank you.